Anyway, let's go to Nathan in Texas. Nathan, can you make sense? Go ahead.
I hope so.
Okay,
so
good. I hope
Liberty
it's not
Phoenix-
something in the water or a full moon or something like that.
Nathan generally makes sense.
Yes, that's why I was hoping that he would be able to make sense. If Nathan is not making sense, then something is really wrong.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Right, then you'll know it's time to retreat to the concrete bunkers.
Yeah.
So,
well, at least you admit it.
So Liberty Phoenix called in earlier this week talking about trying to convince other people about the ideas of liberty. And I wanted to recommend a podcast that the Bad Quaker did in 2012 with Dave McElroy. He's a political consultant. And in the interview, he talks about how, as a political consultant, people are just not interested in the ideas of liberty for the most part. You know, you'll have like a 40% Republican, 40% Democrats. And then, you know, the ads and such will focus on convincing the independents to one side or the other. And generally, libertarian candidates don't get very much pull.
That's true.
David McElroy did a very brilliant little short film a few years ago called We're the Government and You're Not.
Oh, that was him? Okay, I've seen that.
Yes.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
He also wrote some articles talking about why Ron Paul won't ever be elected. And I guess I should apologize. It's probably maybe too cynical for Liberty Phoenix, but I thought I'd recommend it because it shows the opposite viewpoint. Instead of talking about convincing people, he evinces the viewpoint that once he gave up trying to convince people of liberty, he was a lot happier because it's not that he doesn't write or speak, but rather he thinks of what he does as discovering people who already agree with him.
No, that's a good point, actually. Because when I was younger, I used to try to do that. I'd be like really combative with my viewpoints. Like, what? You don't believe in this liberty thing? Like, what is your problem?
Anywhere, right?
No, it didn't. So it really is a much better strategy if you just get to know people and try to understand them. And then, you know, like you'll find that they do have, you know, certain things that they agree with you on. And then you can, you know, open their mind up more because they're more accepting of you.
It's a long road. There's no doubt about that. And being patient with people works a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a couple of really good videos on YouTube of how not to talk to people about the ideas of liberty. One of which actually was produced by some members of the Libertarian Party, where they went around to different Libertarian Party outreach booths, like the Operation Politically Homeless that you said that you've done. And they had people that knew how to do the booth, but they told them, like, you know, just do the absolute worst job that you can, and they were catching it. But they were only filming them do this to Confederates, so people that, you know, were also libertarians that would walk up. And some of it is just so funny.
Because it's so true.
But it's one of those things of where you're like, oh, yeah, I know somebody that's exactly like that.
Wait, so
I'd like to link.
so
I'd like if you could link to that video. I'd very much like to see.
Oh, yeah,
that.
I'll find those and link them on the Free Talk Live Facebook page.
Are they like yelling at these people, so you want to go kill innocent civilians?
Yeah, that's certainly a bad tactic.
What do you mean you don't like guns? You have to like guns. Here's all the guns I've got.
All right. Hey, Nathan, thanks for the call, man. I appreciate it. And, of course, we've mentioned before the Advocates for Self-Government is an excellent organization that helps liberty-minded people become better communicators of these ideas, because ultimately this is what we have to do. We have to propagate the ideas of freedom. And if we can be more efficient or more compassionate towards the people that we're talking to, be better at communicating those ideas, then maybe they'll be more likely to come on sooner rather than later, even though, again, it is a long road, which is why moving together with liberty-minded people who are already on board makes a lot of sense. So go and check out freestateproject.org and check out Daryl's website, fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, and we'll see you tomorrow night online. In the meantime, freetalklive.com. Tomorrow, Adam Kokesh is going to be on the show.
Woo!
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.